Well, we are learning more about Amazon's plan to cut 10,000 jobs across the company. Employees from the Devices and Services unit getting the notice today with a key message here from the chief of hardware over at the company. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Dan Halley, who's on top of that. And Dan, what are they saying in terms of the extent of the cuts in that division and why?
Yeah, this is coming from Amazon's hardware chief, Dave Limp, and basically saying that this is going to be seeing cuts, or they're going to be seeing cuts from the Alexa hardware division, essentially saying that either employees will be moved to other areas within Amazon, or if not, they'll end up being cut. And essentially, he goes on to say that while the area is still very important to them, they are going to be making some of those cuts just to save cash. And, they discuss things like how those kinds of folks who do get laid off will end up getting a package that includes a separation payment, some transitional benefits, and then job placement support. But, obviously that's kind of little, I guess, consolation to people who are losing their jobs here at Amazon. And this kind of just goes as, we're seeing these layoffs across the tech industry. We saw them at Meta. We saw them at Twitter, Snap, Lyft. So it's just another one of the companies that we're just kind of starting to see the macroeconomic conditions really start to come down on. What this means for Amazon and the devices organization, though, this is a group that has pushed out some really interesting products over the years. We had their Astro robot, which didn't really go anywhere. It's still a day one product. They have, a slew of other devices, though, the Echo speakers, the Echo Dot, the Echo Home. You have to wonder if there's going to be continued innovation there, if they're going to be cutting people along these lines. And, that seems to be one of the issues that these companies really have to take into account is how much are they cutting off their nose to spite their face? They're, sure, they're going to be saving in the short term, but in the long term, what does that mean for, the kind of innovation that they're known for and the kind of products that they can put out?
Yeah, and it makes you wonder where the priorities are shifting within the company. There's another company, of course, Dan, that I know you have been busy following, Twitter, not announcing new job cuts, but sort of giving an ultimatum to those who are not with the new company culture under Elon Musk. Yeah,
this is basically Musk putting out a, as you said, ultimatum towards current Twitter employees that, they need to either be on board or get lost, essentially. He's asking them to sign on for an agreement by Thursday at 5 p.m. This is according to a platformer. Basically, if they don't, then they'll get severance. He does thank people regardless of the decision they make. So it's not as though he's saying, take a hike and, kind of lambasting them for not sticking around if he doesn't want to. But he says they have to be hardcore and that they're going to be working around the clock, essentially, to create what he's saying is Twitter 2.0. He is focusing heavily on the aspect of engineering and code. He's doing that saying that he's done a great job with that, or it's worked very well at something like Tesla and SpaceX. Those are very different companies, though. They're hardware companies. Yes, there is a services aspect to Tesla for sure. But when it comes to something like Twitter, it really is more of a broader operation. It's not just the code. It's, the sociological impact that you would get from something along the lines of a mass media product. So he's going to have to tread lightly here. And obviously there have been issues with Musk putting products out too quickly. We saw that with the verification for Twitter Blue, where, trolls just decided to pay the $8, get a verification badge, pretend to be Eli Lilly, pretend to be Lockheed Martin, LeBron James, George Bush. So, there is real consequence to not thinking through things and just going from the perspective of engineering. But, I say this in a column that I wrote, you really can't underestimate Musk considering what he's managed to do with these other companies. It's just a matter of can he get out of his own way or not.